from Taj Madam Medics. I've got a Peugeot 207 here on a 2009 plate. Just doing a washer pump on this one. I've already diagnosed what it is, so I'm going to share that with yourself. It is quite a simple procedure, but before I do any of that, I'm going to show you what it is exactly. So if I switch the ignition on and run the washer pump, you can hear the wipers moving, but the washer pump isn't. So if I switch the ignition off, so what I think is the fuse on it first. That's what I'm going to check. So the fuse box is right here. I've already checked the auto data on this one, and they said it's the F3 fuse. So what we're going to do, we're going to check the F3 fuse. So you need a flat screwdriver. Shove the screwdriver in there. I've already opened this, haven't I? Yeah, I have. If I push this back in, that's in. So you shove a screwdriver in there, push this back, the clip, and then lift it out. Do the same thing on the other end as well. Lift the whole thing out. Once you take it out, take the cover off. That's the cover right there. So that's the fuse box. Now, on the fuse itself, you've got numbers there. So you've got the F3 right there. You can see. So you've got the 3, you've got the 2 and the 4. I don't know how that works, but then you've got 1, 2 here as well. So what we're going to do, because if that's the 3, that's what it's saying we need to replace. But it's not. I'm just going to show you. I'll grab a nose plier. And these are the mini blade fuses as well, so there is a link for it. You can find in the description. Give me 1 second. If you look at this fuse right here, so this looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this fuse back in. So I don't know what this is for, so I'm going to just, because the auto data doesn't give me enough information, so push this back in there. And then what I now do is take this one off, which I did suspect that's the 2. But a 15 amp fuse. If you look at the fuse right inside, the filaments on the inside is broken. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to replace that. I've got the new one right here, so you can see the inside of the fuse is pretty good. So I'll get a nose plier. If you haven't got a nose plier, you've got to use something that you could pull the fuses out with. You can either use a small flathead screwdriver, put it on the side there, wiggle, lift it up at the same time, and then try to get your fingers in there and then pull it out. But it's going to be a bit difficult. Usually on the inside of the car where the fuse box is, you might have a puller, so you can do that. Now let's check, see if it's working. So what we're going to do now is switch the ignition on and then run the wipers, and you can hear, just come on my face, didn't it? So you can hear the pump working. For any, and you've got the back one as well on this. So for any reason, if the fuse are good, right? If the fuse are good, what you could do is the washer bottle's right here. So I'm assuming the bottle goes around across here. So you can remove this wheel, remove the arch lining. Once you remove the arch lining, you've got a washer pump. Now the washer pump would have 2 pipes. Right, one for the rear, one for the front, and then disconnect those pipes first. Disconnect the plug, wedge your screwdriver right at the bottom of it where the pump sits in, and gently lift it up, and then pull the pump out. Replace it with a new one. Make sure you remember the black, round seal as well. That needs to go on the washer bottle, so the new pump goes in. That seals it as well, so you don't get no fluid leaking out of it. That's only if the fuse is good. So the next stop is the pump. So you can always hear it, switch the ignition on, run the washers. If the washer pump is working, you'll know there's no water in there. Just fill it up with water, that should do the job. If for any reason that doesn't work, the washer fluid is not coming out, then you've got the nozzles. You can either blow the nozzles with an airline or clean them up with a fine needle and then put it through the hole and clean the nozzles up. That should do the trick as well. If there is anything else you need to know, comment us below. We'll try helping you as much as we can. And if you did like this video, there's a special thanks button. Don't forget to click on that and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. One more